Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be going through the Fairdale area, Louisville, Kentucky, on the Honda Navi. So I'm going to go through here. This is an area I haven't really gone through before. It's an area that has seen some change in recent years. Turning circle for one. This is going through Fairdale, and I'm also going to go. I'm going to turn around here. I'm going to go by Mitchell Hill Road as well, which goes to a high point that kind of overlooks the city. There's a Family Dollar and a Cash Saver. Don't have ever heard of a Cash Saver. It's a cost plus food store. But yeah, Fairdale's kind of a smaller neighborhood. There's a Dairy Queen over here. So a little gazebo, and I guess the town center. Yeah, they have, I mean, it's really, Fairdale's on the other side of, Outer Loop from, the Airquay Park area. The house is, not doing too hot. You know, there's a lot of, neighborhoods in Louisville. And it's something I don't 100% remember all the history and haven't researched this prior, but there was a merger of the city and county in the early 2000s, and there used to be a lot of smaller neighborhoods that were their own city that are now part of Louisville. Because they merged the city and the county. So there's a lot of people that still kind of refer to areas as, cities, even though it's part of the, Louisville Metro. But, it's an area that's a little bit more rural. The area went through the turning circles. There's, a couple of restaurants and, a Dairy Queen and some stores and stuff and a library. Then you have a lot of neighborhoods that surround it, where out here you would have more, square footage to your yard, your property, than you would inside a lot of parts of the city, like the Highlands area, for example. And hopefully it's not too windy. It's really, really windy, at least to my ears. But if it's too windy, I can try to clean it up and editing some, but that can be kind of a pain. But yeah, so I'm going to be going up to the top of Mitchell Hill Road, which is just a windy, kind of narrow road that goes up to the top of the hill that kind of gives you an overlook. And to the left and the right are entrances to Jefferson Memorial Forest. So it's a large forest that you can go to go hiking, to do other outdoor activities. Nice large area. And there are some urban legends around this road, around Mitchell Hill Road. And I'd done a video on that a while back, but it's basically just supposedly in the late 1940s, early 1950s, a couple was going to a high school dance, crashed, and then, you know, died in the crash. And then supposedly at nighttime you could see the ghost of the girl walking down the road in her dress, which, you know, there's a lot of urban legends kind of like that, kind of a lover's lane type deal. But as you can see, I mean, the GoPro may not do it justice because it's on a super wide angle, but, you know, it's a pretty steep road. And currently it's in pretty bad shape. There's a lot of potholes and a lot of bumps and areas that aren't so smooth. But you tried to race down here, you know, in the 1940s in a sporty car for the time. It's a pretty narrow road, and cars back then, you know, even the sporty cars of the time would kind of pale in comparison when it comes to handling and road performance to modern cars. And the tires back then were a lot worse as well. They weren't as advanced when it comes to being grippy and helping you, you know, perform well on the road. And then this, supposedly too, the couple was buried in this cemetery, which is the Mitchell Family Cemetery that's top of Mitchell Hill Road. So I'm just gonna go down here, turn around, and go back. You know, this is an area that, like I said, there's the urban legend. I wouldn't put a whole ton of stock in it. I guess I might go through this way. I've never gone all the way through. But I figured I'd, you know, at least mention the history of that. And supposedly there actually was a couple who crashed, I believe it was in the late 40s, on that road, and were actually buried in that cemetery. So that gives that a little bit of basis in reality. You know, at least far more than a lot of urban legends have, where people is just, you know, kind of whole cloth fabricated and really nothing to base it on. But at least that one has some level of basis in reality, even though if it's incredibly sad. But I figured I would go through the Fairdale area because it's a little bit different than the areas I've gone through before, and I don't want to just go through the same neighborhood for the 1000th time. I guess I might turn around here. Didn't want to just go through Cherokee Park again. Oh, and two, I forgot to mention, I have two cameras. I have the GoPro Hero 10 attached to my helmet, and then I have the GoPro Hero 8 attached to the back of the bike, because the Honda Navi has a nice little bar around the back of the seat, which is perfect to mount a camera to. So I have the GoPro Hero 8 on the black. I usually use the GoPro Hero Max, the 360 camera, but you have to take all the 360 footage and frame it up and keyframe it and export it, and that adds a bunch of extra time. So I figured for these rides, I would use the GoPro Hero 8, that's just the standard GoPro, and see if that provides a good enough angle to supplement the main helmet camera, to give two angles, be able to see what's in front and behind. And then over to the right, you can kind of see out over the city a little bit. you know, when it's winter or fall, you can see more, but you can see all the way to the downtown Louisville area, and you can see, you know, the airport and some things like that. So you do get a nice view up here, and like I said, in the winter and the fall, you can see even more when it's not, when the trees aren't, you know, as lush and full of greenery and leaves. This is going back down Mitchell Hill Road, so this gives you an idea of what the road looks like when you're going down it. I will not be racing down here at a high rate of speed. Like I said, the road's kind of in rough condition. And then the nickname for the road is Hot Rod Haven. And there's another road in the city that also has the nickname of Hot Rod Haven. And I've done a video where I rode through there as well. I just said that funny. I rode through there. And they're both kind of in similar condition. A lot of potholes and areas that make it kind of bumpy, and you really wouldn't want to try to set your top speed and your, you know, race through. And it's also just, these are, you know, this is a pretty narrow, twisted road. I could definitely see somebody could lose control and go off. Especially considering cars from the 1940s where their tires would have been a lot less grippy. And the suspension and all the handling would have not really performed up to modern standards. And there's not really any space. There's not just like open fields on either side of this. You're going to go into the side of the hill, or you're going to go off the side over the guardrail. You know, and likely if you hit the right side, you probably end up going over to the left side, maybe going over the guardrail anyway. So not many good outcomes will come from hitting things, you know, or, you know, crashing on the way down that road. But yeah, I mean, so there's different neighborhoods in the Fairdale area. I'm not going to ride through the entirety of the neighborhood on this ride, partly because I'm not super familiar, so I don't know where everything's at, and it's just spending a lot of time. But you know, you got to go up to the top of Mitchell Hill Road and kind of overlook. And what's funny is if you go to the, I know I've done other videos, and I did one recently where I finally got to go, I guess I'll pull into the Jefferson Memorial Forest over here on the right, just to see what this recreation area looks like. But the top of Mitchell Hill Road, which I was just at, I had done videos where I went through Iroquois Park. From the top of Iroquois Park, if you look out over, you can see from the south outlook, when the trees are a little bit more bare, you can kind of see the Mitchell Hill Road area. So you can kind of, from Iroquois Park, kind of see Mitchell Hill Road. So kind of cool. This is Jefferson Memorial Forest. But yeah, so that was a ride through Fairdale, going up to the top of Mitchell Hill Road and coming back down. But yeah, so that'll wrap up this ride. Until next time.